0 to 1 million TikTok followers in 1 week, plus an additional 1 million followers in the following 48 hours. Erika Kullberg's growth is blowing a lot of people's minds. Today, we're going to dive on in and talk a little bit about how exactly she is growing faster than anyone has on TikTok, maybe with the exception of Bella Porch. Let's dive on in as soon as that intro plays. Hey guys, my name is Rachel Pedersen. I'm a social media strategist. I have 1 million followers on TikTok, but I have to say I did not do it as fast as Erika has. And I'm really excited because I took some time off recently to kind of step back and actually intentionally reverse engineer exactly what she's doing. So we're going to break down 9 specific levers that we discovered that she's implementing either on purpose or not, consciously or unconsciously, that are absolutely crushing it. Now, before we dive on in, first and foremost, I have to say I love Erika. I think she's fantastic. I actually just started following her today, but I've been watching her content, watching her growth, and it's really, really cool to see the behind the scenes of her growth happening and being able to be a spectator, but then also step back and look at the strategy behind it. And I do want to touch on a few different things, but I want to be clear, I'm rooting for Erika. I think it's fantastic. Now, the first thing I want to share with you, and this is big, is that she works with an agency that basically is responsible for a lot of creators' growth. Now, I want to be clear, that is not to be confused with me saying that I think that she's an industry plant. I actually don't think she is. One thing I will say is that she's not new to content creation. She's had hundreds of thousands of YouTube subscribers for a little bit now. She grew to 100,000 on YouTube pretty quickly. I think she's honestly a professional content creator and she's really, really good at it. So I am super excited to break down these 9 levers, but I did want to share those 2 things, that it's not her first time creating content. But most people, even after creating content, cannot grow this fast. So I am in no way diminishing her growth. Okay, so let's take a look. This is Erika's profile. It's Erika Kullberg is her username. She goes by Money Lawyer Erika. And you'll see, we're going to watch just a couple of these. Let's check it out. So in her videos, she's talking about different things that consumers and everyday people can utilize that they didn't know were hacks that they could utilize to either get free stuff or save money or ultimately benefit from loopholes that are built into contracts. So I spent a little bit of time researching her this past 48 hours. And the first strategy that she implements is us versus them. This is a really fascinating strategy because in traditional marketing, a lot of times we are trying to convince people. And when you're trying to convince someone, it's not the right energy. Basically, what happens is it's you versus them playing tug of war. Squid Games, anyone? So basically, you're playing tug of war and trying to pull them over to your side in traditional marketing. This is the traditional convince trap that actually ends up being more sales focused. So what happens is this person wants to say no. They want to say like, absolutely not. I don't want what you're selling. Go away. No solicitation, please. And this person starts talking louder and trying to be heard. One of the things that Erika is doing absolutely brilliantly is that she's actually dropping the rope and crossing the line to stand hand in hand with prospective followers by saying it's us versus them. Now remember, she may not be doing this on purpose, but as a marketing strategist who's worked with a ton of amazing brands, what I noticed was that she drops the rope. She says, listen, I'm just going to drop that rope on the ground. I'm going to come over, cross the line, stand with you, and recognize that many of these brands, hello, new bad guy, right? These brands are trying to hide loopholes that could save you money, get you free products, etc. So she's uniting her followers or her prospective followers against a common enemy, and that is these big brands. That is strategy number 1. I think it's brilliant. I love it. Even just that one alone is fantastic. I will tell you that out of these 9 strategies I'm sharing, you may be able to implement 1, 2, 5 of them. Fantastic. Most people probably won't be able to implement all 9. So just keep that in mind. Strategy number 2, she's talking about pain points that actually keep people awake. For example, I'm going to look at one of these videos here because I think this is really helpful. Let's take a look at this. So this one is actually about wedding rings, which I always find interesting. It's a topic that's interesting. So check this out. She's talking about wedding rings, and a lot of people in relationships are stressed thinking about how am I going to pay for a wedding ring. The same thing is actually also true with some of her other topics, including salary negotiations and how companies are underpaying you. This is something that people think about. Is my company that I'm working with, are they paying someone else more than they're paying me? This is something that actually keeps people awake. The next big thing is, should I be doing more with my money? This is something people think about quite a bit. So what to invest in? She's literally giving you all of the tips. It's really actually fantastic. There's a whole bunch more here. How to get a higher credit score. Anyone who wants to buy a house is thinking about, is my credit score high enough? She's talking about transparency with YouTube Pay, which is something a lot of creators are curious about. And so by starting with the pain points of her audience, she is literally creating content that in some ways creates either solutions or instant fixes for these pain points. Which brings us to strategy number 3, creating instant credibility through credibility levers. Your bio and your handle are 2 places where you have an opportunity to do this. Now, there's an instant credibility with Erika because she is a lawyer. So simply by being a lawyer, that adds credibility. That makes people say, I might listen to your advice a little more about some of these loopholes in contracts with different companies or terms and conditions. Now, what I find really fascinating, though, is a lot of us can do this. For example, I could call myself a social media strategist because that would absolutely be correct, or $1 million strategist, or $1 million freelancer. Like, all of those things are true. Number 3 strategy, you can literally implement credibility levers, aka the certifications, the trainings, the honors, the awards, the accomplishments that you have achieved. Put them into your bio so that when people are going to go check out your credibility, they see it there. Strategy number 4. Now, I'm going to just real fast say this strategy is absolutely speculation. My theory is, and she probably at some point will comment on this or my TikTok and say, no, I never did that, and that's fine. But my theory is that she may be hiding videos that are not performing well. I could totally be wrong on this, and she may not be, which would be even more impressive, to be honest. But a lot of big creators hide videos that aren't doing well, and I'm going to share with you my thought on it. I'm not saying that that's what Erika's doing, but I oftentimes suspect it when someone's content keeps doing better and better and better, because that's just not the norm on most platforms for most people. But that being said, I wanted to share an alternate strategy that any of us can use that feels in integrity, in case you're like, I don't think that feels like integrity. I personally have a weird hang up about that. So for example, if you are trying to get out a video and it doesn't take off right away, if you wanted instant virality time and time and time again, you would redo the video with a better intro. Things like the caption, the hashtags, the intro, those things can instantly affect whether or not it's going to go mega viral instantly or not. So while I haven't done the whole hiding of videos that didn't perform well, my big excitement here is the idea of, wait a second, what if I just started slowing down and redoing videos with new captions, new text on the screen, new intro, new hashtags, like all of that. That would be really interesting to see what happened with our growth. So let's get to strategy number 5. By the way, let me know in the comments below if this has been eye-opening. Do you guys want me to start breaking down more people's success and growth on different social media platforms? Let me know in the comments what you guys would love to see, okay? Because I love reading those comments and seeing exactly what you guys want to learn. So strategy number 5. Now this one is specifically applicable to marginalized people groups. And this is really important, especially for women, but really any marginalized people group. I'm going to take you guys to one video that I find really, really interesting, okay? So check this out, how companies underpay you. There was one minor tone in here that was interesting, and it's not wrong, but basically she does a female coworker, a male coworker counterpoint. And so they're going back and forth. And if you look at this, what's really, really interesting is she's showing the male coworker's standpoint. And actually, I don't think she even said that this was a female coworker, but it's implied with the dress there at least. Actually, it might have said it at the beginning. But what's really, really fascinating about this is if you look at the comments, it gets really intense. I almost don't even want to review it. But there are a lot of arguments in these comments. Some of the comments that are driving the majority of her virality are men commenting and saying kind of controversial things in the comments. So, for example, this comment section is full of reasons why women are paid less. You ladies are too agreeable. That has 10 responses already, and there are quite a few more comments like this that honestly stirred up a lot of fighting in the comments. So I'm not saying that that is why she is successful at all. I do not want to marginalize her success to that. But the fact that people are fighting, and especially on her videos, a lot of accounts that appear to be run by men are leaving those types of comments on her content. It is driving virality. Arguing in comments drives virality, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily a reason to keep up videos. I've taken some videos down when things got misunderstood, but I don't think that she is saying anything inappropriate at all, if that makes sense, at least at the time of recording this. So I think, though, that people wanting to argue with her because she's a woman talking about finances, etc., that in particular is being argued with in the comments. So kind of fascinating. Strategy number 6. She is talking specifically about recognizable brands. And by using those brands' store entryways as her green screens, whether or not people know who Erika is, the first thing that they notice is, hey, I know that brand. That brand is a brand that I buy shoes from, Nike. That brand is a place that I fly a lot. That brand is a pair of pants my girlfriend bought. So you watch it because you want to know, where is this going? So number 6 is to talk about recognizable brands. Number 7, now this is her content topic. And I really, really like this because in her videos, she's sharing how to get more for your dollar. I love this topic. I think this is so applicable. I'm going to watch these videos and be like, ooh, I wish I knew this sooner. So what's interesting is she's sharing, her actual content is a ton of value because she's sharing ways to get stuff for free that you're already entitled to. That is fantastic. And I have to say, I love that she's leading with this value. That's amazing and well done. And she role plays the entire process so well. She's giving you a script to be able to get stuff for free. It's fantastic. Number 8 is the big promise: text on screen. So look at her captions on these videos, or rather the cover on each one. So it says like, get free Nike shoes, free money from United, easy diamond trick, free Lululemons. Like all of those things have a big promise that really pull you in. And I think it's fantastic. Number 9 is, this is my favorite, mass market reach. If you are a marketer watching this video, I want to give you a heads up that because we don't always reach the entire audience of mass market, meaning like everybody, sometimes we get discouraged when we see other people grow fast. But the truth is, she has something that can benefit every single person in many different countries, which is really fantastic. That's the definition of mass market. Some other examples of mass market could include like, and these are just easy examples, like supplements, weight loss, clothes. It could be books. Like my book content probably reaches more people than anything. Body positivity, like all of those things are more mass market versus if you're talking about your specialty, it's not going to reach everyone and it's not always meant to reach everyone. So I'm curious for you, what questions do you have? Feel free to ask them in the comments. I'll catch you guys later. Bye for now.